Peace.
Let's talk about the last sort of like 12 months if we can. I mean, it's been sort of like pretty crazy for you.
Yeah.
From nowhere, it seems, to a lot of people. You've kind of sort of appeared on the front covers of all the major music papers, you know, Best New Band, the Brits performance a few weeks back as well. Can you describe what the last 12 months have been like for you? Must have been crazy.
Slightly insane, and at points I've thought that I might be losing my mind, but it's been what I've always wanted to do, so I've felt kind of quite prepared for it mentally in lots of ways, and kind of strangely become quite accustomed to it, and now it's my life, and I'm sort of achieving things like which I've always wanted to do. So
things like what then? What have been the best
really
things for you?
Things like just making good records and getting the acclaim for it. Things like polls and things like that, when you suddenly realise that it's beyond record sales. It's actually people consider your records as being special rather than just another record they're going to buy or something like that. You know, the polls at the end of the year were quite a turning point for us in lots of ways, because all of a sudden I think that suddenly a load of people realised that it was okay to like us in a way, whereas a lot of people before I felt maybe thought that we were some sort of, you know, media invention or something, and then I think after a while they realised we're not.
When all the press stuff started and you kind of sort of started coming out of London and performing around the rest of the country, did you feel as though you had a lot to live up to because of all the press ballyhoo?
Yeah, it was a bit insane really, because every single gig when we first had that Melody Maker cover and stuff was just rows and rows of people with their arms folded and, you know, notebooks and, you know, stern faces. But by the end of the gigs, it made it more exciting, because by the end of the gig there was so much tension there that we wanted to kind of like convert them, and by the end of the gig they were kind of like lapping it up.
I mean, the band don't seem to sort of like fit into any particular scene. I mean, where do you think Suede fit as far as rock's rich tapestry is concerned?
Hopefully nothing as vulgar a resting place as anything like Style. I don't think there's anything that stylistically that any particular area can be definitely pinned down, even though a lot of our critics might point us towards certain areas of time. I think the key is just to actually to write timeless songs, which is what we've always wanted to do. A certain amount of timelessness, and to actually maybe occupy a point on a line which is actually just which has just been occupied by just great bands in the past, really.
Some of pop's best moments, talking of the past, have come from, you know, stars with kind of ambiguous sexual roles. You know, Morrissey, I mean, Bowie. Why do you think that is?
Maybe it's because they're more universal in what they say. Maybe that's quite important, not actually saying anything that excludes sectors of society from the meaning of the song. If a song is too blatantly about something, it can mean absolutely nothing sometimes.
Talking about some of your songs, I mean, there's a few sort of drug references in some of the songs, and only in the press recently, you know, you sort of said that you were quite obsessed with drugs. Why is that?
I don't know, because I take a lot of them, I suppose. But who doesn't, you know, is my age, you know, let's face it, come on. You do, Gary, I'm sure, you know. Media star.
I'm interviewing you, you're not interviewing
all right.
me.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just like, sort of the teenage dream and all that, really, just like escapism, I think, really. It's always been an important part of being young. I mean, you know, it's something that you can do that's cheap and it takes you to another place, you know. It's an important thing, you know.
Yeah.
And for lots of people, it's the only thing they have in their lives.